Welcome back to another edition of the Bizarro World, as I like to refer to it, around the case of Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. Well, as you very well may be aware of, the other day we had another hearing in this case. This time it was revolving around Chad Daybell with his attorney, Mr. Pryor. And for the most part, everything went pretty smooth. Unlike all of the other court hearings we've had with Mr. Means and Lori Vallow, this one went on and ended without any hiccups. There was no ranting or raving about silly motions. There was no one trying to drag their feet and extend it out for an indefinite period of time. Everything went off without a hitch. And well, that's kind of strange, especially in this case, and because we've seen just about everything so far: continuances, closed hearings that have taken place behind closed doors where they didn't want anyone to know about it. We've seen endless, fruitless motions filed, but in this case, it just happened. It just was normal. The defense was there, Mr. Pryor. The DA was there, Mr. Wood. The judge was there, the court reporter, and some people sat in the actual gallery and watched it all happen. But there wasn't any drama. So where are we at right now on the Chad Daybell case? Well, we learned some very interesting things yesterday that we'll go over here shortly. Do you like what you're seeing here? Well, why don't you go ahead and click that subscribe button today? And then don't forget to hit that bell icon so you'll be notified when I upload new content. I upload new content every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes, 5 days a week, I am uploading new content for you, the viewer. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. But first, I want to address a question that has come up several times in my last update on this case. If Lori Vallow is to be found mentally competent after 90 days there at the state mental hospital in Orfino, could her trial start at about the same time as Chad's? And the answer is yes. Yes, it can. If she's found to be competent in 30 days from now instead of 90 days, to restore her back to competency to aid in her own defense. But if she's found to be competent before that 90 days, they'll send her back to the jail and notify the court. This lady is competent to stand trial. Here you go. We did our job. But now back to Chad Daybell. So we found out Chad Daybell's trial is going to start November 8th at 9 a.m. exactly. Well, how is it going to start on November 8th? Well, Chad has decided that he wants a jury trial. He wants a jury trial by his peers. He thinks he has a better chance at getting 12 people to say he's not guilty of these charges, as opposed to a sitting judge. Yes, he had the option of a sitting judge to rule on his innocence or guilt in this case, but he has decided that he would rather have 12 members of his community judge him instead. So notices will be sent out to prospective jury members to arrive on November 8th at approximately 7 o'clock in the morning. They'll start filling out questionnaires, and then the DA and prosecutor will go through them. They'll weed some of them out right there before they're ever brought into the courtroom. And then other ones will be weeded out until they narrow it down somewhere. It may take a day, and may take 3 days or 4 days to weed them all out, depending upon how many. If they call 125, which is normally, in a high profile case like this, they will call up to 125 prospective juror members, and then they will weed them out until they get the 12 plus 2 alternatives. So again, Mr. Pryor and Chad want a jury trial to start November 8th. Mr. Pryor has also indicated that he doesn't need to file any additional motions right now on this case since they've set the date so far out from today. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he has indicated that he doesn't need an extension or have any additional motions that he needs to file right now, unlike Mr. Means, who, well, at a drop of a bucket, he, files more and more motions that are more and more twisted as the days go on. The jury trial in all of its proceedings is scheduled to last up to 5 weeks. Now, that is not set in concrete, like on the end of the 5 weeks, the trial has to end. It could be extended 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. Some cases take months to actually, work their way through. But at this point, they have scheduled it for a 5-week period. There will be a pre-trial conference that will take place on the 29th of September between Mr. Pryor and Mr. Wood and the special prosecutor in this case. The three of them will meet behind closed doors. This will not be televised. They will meet and they will discuss, is there any way we can work out an agreement to this? Maybe the state will offer a plea agreement. You plead guilty to these charges, we'll drop all these. They might work out something like that, or they may not. There may not be anything really for them to talk about. But at that point in time, the three of them will all be in the same room together, and they will talk about the actual case and where it's at this point. Additionally, in this pre-trial conference, they will also bring up between each other, any additional things that they need to discuss about, evidence or witnesses or anything else. And if they need to extend out and have another motion hearing, the two of them, as civil adults, I know that's weird. Civil adults with actual licenses to practice law in the state of Idaho will come to an agreement if they need to extend it out or if more motions need to be filed. I know that is weird, and it's really bizarre when it comes to this case. But they will sit down and they will discuss if they need to file any motions or if they need to go back into court and actually have a real court hearing, a motions hearing on extending this out for any length of time. So that's where we're at. At this point right now, the state of Idaho and Mr. Pryor and Mr. Wood have all done their part, and we will see them back in court on this matter on November 8th at 9 a.m. That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me today. And hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, why don't you go ahead and click that subscribe button down below? It really helps my channel out. I don't make a whole lot of money when it comes to YouTube, but every subscriber I get, and everyone who clicks on the videos to watch them, I make a couple more pennies, but I have to pay for the light bill for this somehow. And I really want to see you here. So please consider subscribing today. And you have a wonderful week.